What if there was a place where anything goes? Maybe I've read a little too much Cormac McCarthy, but in my mind, I picture roving bands of cannibals, a mishmash of beat-up cars, and a landscape swallowed by chaos and misery. Believe it or not, some say such a lawless zone exists right here in the U.S., deep in the bubbling wild landscape of our first national park. This is State Lore, a podcast diving into lesser-known tales from my Quick Facts books, compendiums of unique, quirky facts paired with my whimsical illustrations. Find them at the coolest bookstores near you, or buy them directly from me at quickfactsbooks.com. Imagine a place in the vast wilderness of Yellowstone National Park where, due to a peculiar legal loophole, the law just doesn't quite reach. Sounds like something out of a dark thriller. But the zone of death is a real, albeit unsettling, quirk of American law and is tucked away in the remote, bubbling landscapes of one of the nation's most iconic parks. Before I give you the backstory, I just want to say I'm not a legal scholar, so if it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, I probably don't know what I'm talking about. Though I do think the information I share will make sense. It makes sense to me, but again, amateur here, so thank you for your patience. Here's the backstory. Yellowstone National Park, established in 1872, sprawls across 3 states: Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. However, the entire park technically falls under the jurisdiction of the U.S. District Court for the District of Wyoming, regardless of which state the specific area lies in. This setup created a unique issue when it comes to the Sixth Amendment, which grants a right to a trial by jury of residents from both the district and the state where the crime was committed. I hope you're still with me. Now, most of Yellowstone lies in Wyoming, so it's fairly straightforward to assemble a jury from that state for crimes committed there. But there's a small, uninhabited square-mile section of the park that extends into Idaho. This is the zone of death. So no one lives in that part of Idaho. If a crime were to be committed there, it would be impossible to form a local jury, as the law requires jurors to be residents of both the District of Wyoming and the state Idaho. In theory, this legal loophole could allow someone to commit a crime without the possibility of prosecution, since there would be no lawful way to hold a trial. The zone of death concept first came to public attention thanks to a 2005 Georgetown Law Journal article by law professor Brian Kalt, who stumbled upon the anomaly while researching constitutional law. Kalt theorized that if someone committed a serious crime like murder in this Idaho section of Yellowstone, that 50-mile patch we were talking about, they could argue that due to the lack of local jurors, they couldn't be constitutionally tried. While this has never been tested in court, the loophole remains unresolved to this day, existing as a peculiar footnote in the American legal landscape. The idea of this ungoverned patch of land has sparked plenty of fascination and some concern. It's inspired debates, podcasts, and even thriller novels, all feeding off the eerie idea of a place where the usual rules don't apply. Although no major crimes have been documented in the zone of death, this loophole is still a tantalizing reminder of the limits and oddities within U.S. law. So the next time you find yourself wandering the far reaches of Yellowstone, remember, you might just be standing on one of the strangest legal gray areas in America, a place where the law, in all its complexity and loopholes, meets the rugged, untamed wilderness of our first national park.